Goodbye. Potato.
Live from Melbourne, this is 7 Afternoon News with Rebecca Maddern.
Good afternoon. First at 4, an elderly stroke patient being treated in a tent in a car park has highlighted the depth of Victoria's health crisis. Box Hill Hospital management says staff are doing their best but concedes the entire system is under relentless pressure. Jodie Lee has the story.
Alarming stories of lengthy wait times and staff shortages have emerged from patients here at Box Hill Hospital. One woman who doesn't wish to be identified has told 7 News her elderly mother waited hours to be seen after suffering a stroke, only to be transferred to a tent in the car park.
He said, think of Guantanamo Bay. And I said, oh, okay. And so then we went out there and I was shocked. The staff came to me and they said, what's wrong? And I said, I said, I can't believe we're in a tent.
It comes as photos emerged of a teen cancer patient forced to sleep in a hallway here at Box Hill due to a lack of beds. The woman's daughter is now calling on the state government to fund hospitals over infrastructure projects.
Ask yourself, if this was your mother, your grandmother, are you comfortable with her being in a tent outside? You know, she's had a stroke, a Category 1 emergency, I was told yesterday. This is not acceptable. Worry less about building more roads and build us some hospitals.
A spokesperson for Eastern Health today confirmed it always endeavours to offer patients the best of care, but acknowledged the system is under unprecedented pressure due to COVID, the flu and deferred care after lockdown.
Now, the drama at Box Hill Hospital comes a day after the state opposition made an election promise to prioritise health funding and shelve plans for the suburban rail loop. The multi-billion-dollar transport project is now forecast to cost more than double the original estimate. Here's state political reporter Chanel Vella.
Health and transport will no doubt be the talking points for the next 100 days as we lead up to the November election. And the state government's big build projects are clearly in the spotlight. A report released overnight by the Parliamentary Budget Office has estimated that the first 2 stages of the suburban rail loop will come in at $125 billion. That eye-watering cost is far from the original $50 billion price tag given before the 2018 election, and that was for the entire project. The state government, however, is sticking by their business case released last year that puts revised costs for stage 1 at $30 to $34 billion. But they've refused to confirm if the reported $125 billion for the 2 initial stages is correct.
We're getting on and delivering the first stage of this, Cheltenham to Box Hill. The only people who are opposed to that are the other side of politics here in Victoria. And again, the one sure way to make sure that the suburban rail loop costs more than it should is to scrap it, delay it, shelve it. That's just common sense.
Victorians have a choice. A Labor government that's focused on their priorities, or a coalition government that will be focused on saving Victorians' lives by fixing the health service. Look, you can't get a train to hospital if you're having a heart attack.
As well as the estimated $125 billion, it will also cost $75 billion to operate the rail loop for the first 50 years. The state government says they're getting on and building the suburban rail loop regardless. And despite their criticism of the project, the Liberal Party won't scrap it if they're elected. They've committed to continuing $2.2 billion of early works, which could be deemed useless before they shelve the project.
Police have revealed the man accused of stealing human remains from Footscray Cemetery died more than a month ago. Tristan Hearn was due to front court yesterday and a magistrate issued a warrant for his arrest when he didn't appear, but police later discovered he died on July 5. It's believed he suffered from cystic fibrosis and recently had a lung transplant. A Victorian man is among 3 people in custody after police smashed a major drug ring. More than $500 million worth of meth was being found hidden inside marble slabs. Robert Avadia has more.
Well, it was right here on July 27, only a few weeks ago, that Australian Border Force intercepted 4 containers among 24. They had come here from the United Arab Emirates. They contained marble tiles, but it was on advice from the New South Wales Drug and Firearms Squad that the shipment could also contain illicit drugs. But even police and ABF were astonished when they discovered just how much. 750 kilograms of ice, roughly 7.5 million hits, with a street value of $675 million. Now, police removed the drugs and let the containers go to their intended destination, alleging 3 men were part of a syndicate that broke the tiles to pieces looking for their drugs, and you can imagine their despair when they discovered they were not there. 2 men were arrested here in Sydney yesterday, 2 locals and another from Victoria.
Certainly for State Crime Command, it's the biggest seizure that they've led this investigation.
The syndicate was highly resourced. They were well organised and they were capable of using existing systems and processes within transport and freight industries. They were well schooled in what they were doing.
Australian Border Force also spoke this morning and they revealed it's been a busy few weeks.
The last 10 days alone, we've seen nearly 2 tonnes of drugs coming through the border.
The men arrested are very young considering the level of sophistication and size of this operation. The principal is 26 years old and his lieutenant is just 24. They face a maximum life imprisonment.
The new Home Affairs Minister claims teenage terrorists are grooming students in Australian schoolyards. She says extremists are using vile videos to groom vulnerable children. Chris Reason explains.
Yeah, good afternoon. Well, the Home Affairs Minister won't go into detail. She won't even reveal the state that this is allegedly happening in. But if the ASIO briefings she's been given are correct, they are concerning. Terror groups like ISIS have long targeted children. We've seen them produce their own videos starring kids actually carrying out executions. ASIO is now reporting that teen terrorists are at work in Australian schoolyards trying to groom and recruit even younger students, sharing these beheading videos. The targets are as young as 13.
So what we're seeing is it's either adults or older children who are picking out vulnerable kids in the playgrounds using the sort of techniques that we would actually usually see from pedophiles. So showing them, starting them out with, somewhat violent material and then moving on to things that are more and more violent.
Now, Australia hasn't been immune to teen terrorism. A 15-year-old killed police worker Curtis Cheng here in Sydney, and this photo shocked the world. Sydney-born ISIS militant Khaled Sharif and his young son holding a severed head. And Ms O'Neill has revealed that more than half of ASIO's highest priority subjects last year were minors. And she said right-wing neo-Nazi groups were doing the same, adding that COVID lockdowns may well have been a recruiting goldmine for extremists, with so many kids at home and online for months at a time. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Well, hype is building ahead of Sunday's Carlton-Collingwood blockbuster. The sellout match is shaping as one of the biggest home and away games in recent memory, with the Blues' finals hopes on the line. Blake Johnson spoke to a champion of both clubs.
It is shaping as one of the great games. A sellout on Sunday, Carlton v Collingwood. So much riding on the result. And a man who's played on both sides of the ledger is Dale Thomas. Mate, can you remember a game, round 23, that's had so much build-up like this?
To be completely honest, I don't think I can. Obviously, the rivalry we all know about, but the fact there's so much on the line for both sides, for Collingwood a chance to lock away and put themselves into a top 4 with a double chance, and for the Blues, they have to win for them to play finals this year. So we know about the rivalry. We know there's going to be 90-odd thousand there that's been predicted. It is going to be absolutely massive, and like a lot of the footy world, we'll be sitting back and watching and cannot wait for it.
You played for both clubs. Was there a particular side of the rivalry that you liked the most?
Just the rivalry in general. Obviously, unlike a lot of people, I have the perspective from both sides, and I can tell you that they both hate each other, which is absolutely brilliant. Look, the Pies fans would love nothing more than to be the ones that ended the run of the Blues that have been so fantastic for the year, and for the Blues to just get that little one back over the Pies from earlier on in the year, to get a win and to cement their spot in finals after what has been a really good campaign from them. As I say, 90,000 there. The last round, it all comes down to this. The AFL surely couldn't be happier.
In a wider sense, it's really showing footy, and Melbourne is back after a tough couple of years. It's going to be a massive day on Sunday.
It is. It's great to see. Footy being such an integral part of the community here in Melbourne, and for us to have some of our freedoms back and near on close to all of them, to get along to the footy, which is something we hold very dearly too. You couldn't script that any better.
Who are you going for?
It's a very good question. Look, I firmly sit right in the middle. My heart obviously a touch towards the Pies because of winning a premiership there. On Sunday, though, I will be hoping the Blues win so they can play finals, and then hopefully they can play each other again come finals time, which would be massive.
Doesn't get much bigger than this. Carlton v Collingwood at the G on Sunday afternoon.
Thanks, Daisy. Thanks, Blake. A top global health official questions COVID lockdown strategies. That's coming up next. Also, fresh data shows how rising costs are hurting seniors. And later, off the court and into the corporate world, Ash Barty's new job revealed. Stay with us here on 7's Afternoon News.
Everywhere I look, everybody's stressed. Stop to live up here and start live with this. You want to know how? When you cook, you make love to everybody. That's what Italian food is. Love and sauce. You got to start with the best. And you, have you eaten?
It's a big job making our world a better place, but getting started, well, that's as easy as changing your underwear. Comfy for you and the planet too. Booty.
Witness the dawn of a legend, how the boy became Superman. As in Clark Kent,
I am the villain of the story. Let's go save the world.
Smallville, streaming for free on 7+. Stream big.
The Good Guys doorbuster deals are on now. Get 15% off a range of cooking, dishwashers and small appliances. 10% off a range of fridges, laundry and floor care. 10% off a range of computers and tech. And get 10% off a range of TVs and audio. These offers must end Friday only at The Good Guys.
Oh. Take the challenge to double the life of your clothes with Vanish Gold Multi-Power. Massaman curry. Ooh, cooking's hot work. It's so dull. Just half a scoop and cold wash.
Better than detergent alone, Vanish removes tough stains, plus removes odours, brightens colours and hygienically cleans to double the life of your clothes so you can rewear these again and again. Clothes live longer with Vanish Gold Multi-Power.
If your credit card debt is keeping you up at night, move your balance to a NAB low-rate card and save on interest with 0% per annum on balance transfers for 32 months, so you can get your finances and your sleep back on track. NAB, more than money.
Hi, I'm Phil Richardson, owner of RichTech. We're the trusted experts in electrical wiring and faults, block drains, hot water systems and shower regrouting, all to the highest standard. Book online today at richtech.com.au.
Let's get RichTech. At Harvey Norman, get 16 months interest-free. No deposit, no interest with 60 approximately equal monthly payments from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. That's a bonus $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend on interest-free. Shop our huge range of furniture, bedding, technology, entertainment, home appliances, flooring and so much more. Get 60 months interest-free. No deposit, no interest with 60 approximately equal monthly payments from Latitude and receive a bonus gift card valued at up to $1,000. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go!
This winter, protect your skin from dryness and visible signs of ageing with L'Oreal Revitally Filler Serum from Chemist Warehouse. Concentrated with 1.5% pure hyaluronic acid, it deeply hydrates, re-plumps skin and visibly reduces wrinkles. And for added plumping, pair with the Revitally Filler Day and Night Creams. The L'Oreal Revitally Filler range starts from just $27.49. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Seniors are being hit hard by rapidly rising retirement costs. The Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia has found couples must set aside $67,000 a year and singles just under $50,000 in order to live comfortably. We're now joined live by National Seniors Australia Chief Advocate Ian Henschke. Ian, good afternoon. This is a lot of money to set aside each year for your retirement.
Well, it is indeed, and obviously it shows that the pension's way below that. I mean, the pensioner gets around $26,000 a year, and a couple a bit over 37. So you can see that a lot of people are really struggling unless you've got some extra money. And we know that around 20% of pensioners are living below the poverty line. So they're finding it particularly tough. And of course, with inflation going the way it is at the moment, we're looking at possibly 7% inflation rate by the end of the year. It's one of the reasons why National Seniors is going to this new jobs summit and also to a meeting next week in Canberra and saying, look, you have to let those pensioners that want to work be able to work. And we did a survey recently, and 19.8% of pensioners said that they were considering going back to work, and the main reason was they can't live on the pension.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you touched on inflation, because that was actually my next question. How much is that impacting retirees, and just how concerned are they?
Well, I mean, there's things that you hear are that people can't afford going to the doctor now, because you've got the situation where doctors are no longer bulk billing, and pensioners are telling us that they're being charged when they go to the doctor. If you go to a specialist, you'll find that the Medicare rebate's not going to cover it. Your health funds won't cover it. So health costs are one of the biggest worries, and they're going up at a rate that I would suggest would be higher than inflation. And then you've got the normal day-to-day things that people have to buy. Meat, for example, has been going up. Vegetables, of course, with the floods and other issues have gone up as well. And then, of course, you come to fuel and electricity. I mean, it's almost like driving the car's a luxury. Luxury a lot of people can't afford these days. So yeah. I think there's a lot of pressures coming in on people. And I get back to that issue again. I think the government has to adjust some of its policies around seniors and their work, because at the moment, if a senior works, they lose 50 cents in the dollar off their pension and they get taxed as well. So they're making it very hard for people to go out and earn that little bit of extra money. And I think that's going to be a big issue coming up over the next couple of weeks. And hopefully we'll see some respite in the federal budget.
Now, many of the banks have started passing on interest rate increases to savers, but is that making enough of a difference?
Well, no, the best you can get. I mean, National Seniors has its own savings account that we try and get the best deal for our people, and we're looking at somewhere in about the 2.5% range. Well, I mean, if you've got your money in the bank earning 2.5%, and you go down the supermarket and over a year the costs go up by 5%, you can see you've got a hole in the bottom of the bucket that's bigger than the one at the top. So you're not really going to win if you just have your money in a bank account. You're going to lose. But there's not much choice, because people are worried about the stock market as well. So it's a difficult time for everyone. Homeowners are facing higher interest rates. Pensioners are living on fixed incomes effectively, and they're waiting until the 20th of September when they'll hear about whether or not they get a rise, which with cost of living. But that's looking backwards. You get a cost of living adjustment in September. The other group, of course, that we should talk about just briefly is that there is talk that there will be a expansion of the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, and we're waiting for that to go through Parliament. And I think some of the self-funded retirees will welcome that card to help some of their cost of living pressures as well. Yeah. But it's a tough time. Yeah, OK. Hopefully some reform on the way. Ian Henschke, appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, as always. The World Health Organisation's COVID envoy has slammed the use of long lockdowns in the first 2 years of the pandemic. Dr. David Nabarro says it was a failure of narrative and policy and should not have become a default response to outbreaks. His comments are included in a new book examining why Melbourne spent more time in lockdown than any other city in the world. Final preparations are underway as NASA prepares its Mega Moon rocket for its maiden flight. The rocket was moved to the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Centre ahead of its history-making liftoff later this month.
It's a future where NASA will land the first woman and the first person of colour on the moon.
No humans will be on board. Instead, mannequins will record conditions during the mission. Coming up next, the latest developments on Alistair Clarkson's future. Also, finally some light after a dark week at Essendon as an injury-plagued Saint calls time. And later, a star-studded stadium tribute to Olivia Newton-John. You are watching 7's Afternoon News. We're live from the Docklands.
Oh, she's there! The $10,000 grocery giveaway.
This means so much to me, thank you.
Could you be next? Start with Sunrise tomorrow.
From July 2022, the Victorian Government will send you $250 for simply comparing energy offers. Visit the Victorian Energy Compare website to find the best deal. Whether you're a renter, retired, a family or a young couple, every household deserves the best deal on their energy bills. People saved an average of $330 when using Victorian Energy Compare. Visit the Victorian Energy Compare website to get your $250 bonus now. Authorised by the Victorian Government, spoken by Maddie Morris.
If you've been injured at work, on the road or in a public place, your normal life can suddenly stop. Check if you have a claim for compensation online in minutes so you can start again. With Slater and Gordon, tomorrow starts today.
At Victory Blinds, we offer satisfaction you can measure, with the design consultation, measuring and fitting included on a huge selection of window furnishings. Book a free video or in-home consultation where we bring the showroom to you.
If you're like me and lead a busy life, having your weekday meal sorted by You Foods can be life-changing. Their convenient heat and eat meals are fresh, delicious and packed with local farm fresh ingredients. It's healthy eating made easy.
When life gives you sneeziness, Godfrey's gives you cleanliness. Tinko Pure 1S12, just $10.99. Hoover Allergy Bagless, now $5.99. Save $100. Godfrey's Cleanliness.
We're for bringing you great savings at the Herald Sun. Subscribe today and enjoy 7-day newspaper home delivery plus digital access for just $1 a day for the first 3 months. Call 1-800-323-444 today.
The Arnott Scotch Finger you love, now available with 50% less sugar or gluten-free. There is no substitute.
Want even more chances to win big? The Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery is giving away $200,000 in gold in a 50k frenzy. 4 winners will pocket $50,000 each. Plus, your tickets stay in to win the Glen Iris Grand Prize, where you can live the lifestyle you deserve in a fully furnished Matsay home. You don't want to miss this one. Purchase a ticket before midnight tomorrow, and we could be giving you $50,000 next week.
Choosing what to study can feel overwhelming. At Open Universities Australia, our student advisors can help you explore thousands of study options so you can find your ideal course. Hurry, enrolments close 21st of August.
The Good Guys doorbuster deals are on now. Get 15% off a range of cooking, dishwashers and small appliances. 10% off a range of fridges, laundry and floor care. 10% off a range of computers and tech. And get 10% off a range of TVs and audio. These offers must end Friday only at The Good Guys.
Welcome back. We're live from Melbourne this afternoon. You're watching 7's Afternoon News. 14 degrees outside right now, and Sonia Marinelli will be here with the forecast a little later in the hour. Time now for sport with Andrew McCormack and Macca. Ben Rutten remains coach at Essendon for now, but his treatment certainly got the footy world fired up, hasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, it absolutely has, Beck. A premiership coach has slammed the Bombers for the way they've handled their chase for Alistair Clarkson. Live to Mitch Cleary at Tullamarine. And Mitch, it's been a day of, mixed emotions at Essendon.
Yeah, well, Andrew, it really should have been a day of celebration here at Tullamarine. Michael Hurley named for what will be a farewell game on Saturday night against Richmond. He's also announced his retirement to the players. Instead, he's slammed the lack of stability at the club after the change of president at the start of the week left Ben Rutten fighting for his job. It comes as Melbourne coach Simon Goodwin also took aim at the situation Rutten finds himself in.
For me, there's probably an element of frustration. I know throughout my career I've craved a bit of stability and a settled footy club, and unfortunately that doesn't seem to be that way at the moment. I just hope that it can work itself out and these younger guys coming through get that stability that I crave throughout my career.
The one thing you want in our industry is respect, and I don't think Ben's been afforded that. I think it's been pretty poor how he's been treated. And I think, hopefully he comes out the other side, but he's shown enormous dignity in the way that he's gone about his business.
Now, Rutten arrived for training early this morning and took the Bombers' final main session of the season, all while the spectre of Alistair Clarkson looms large. The Bombers and Kangaroos going head-to-head for his signature. I spoke to North Melbourne President Sonia Hood last night.
We're pretty confident we'll know something by the end of the weekend, and we're really happy with the way things are going. We think we've presented well to him, he's presented well to us, and we understand where each other's at.
Will you be looking for an experienced coach if Alistair chooses the other option?
I tell you what, if we need a plan B, come back and ask me then and I'll give you all the details.
So the race for Clarkson's signature continues to heat up. Andrew will have the latest at 6 o'clock along with the teams for the final home and away round of the season.
Look forward to that. Thanks, Mitch Cleary there. St Kilda midfielder Dan Hanbury will play his final AFL game against his former club Sydney on Sunday. Mentally, the 31-year-old says he wants to continue but has decided to call time after just 17 games across a controversial 4-year deal at Marinelli.
I've had a number of injuries and played 4 or 5 games in 2 years. I'm not getting any younger. We've got some really good young kids coming through. Certainly understanding the realities of all that.
Brett Ratton has welcomed an upcoming review of the St Kilda footy department, set to be led by former North Melbourne coach David Noble. Meantime, Richmond veteran Jack Riewoldt had a bit of a surprise for coach Damien Hardwick for his 50th birthday. The Tigers had a much bigger present, though, for Daniel Rioli in the form of a new 5-year deal.
He's playing some spectacular footy, as we know. He's such an important player to the fabric of our footy club and the way he goes about it. And the great thing is to see him evolve as a player.
Hardwick says Dustin Martin has made some progress this week from his hamstring injury and remains in the frame for a Week 1 finals return. That is all for sport, Beck. I've got the teams coming up live at 6:15.
Terrific. Interesting words from Michael Hurley today.
Yeah,
he's had a rough ride his whole career, actually. The Essendon drugs saga and then all of that injury as well. So I'm so pleased that he gets to play his last game.
Absolutely. Well done, Hills.
Thank you very much, Macca. Well, British band Coldplay has teamed up with Australian singer Natalie Imbruglia to pay tribute to Olivia Newton-John. During a concert at Wembley Stadium, they belted out the Grease hit Summer Nights. Tens of thousands of fans sang along in an epic tribute. Well, there's an eye-watering new cost estimate for the suburban rail loop. We'll speak to the minister in charge after the break. Also, Melbourne's Vietnam veterans mark a solemn milestone. And the boys in blue grant a little girl's last wish. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes' time.
Run away with me.
Let's go!
A man is dead because of me.
Remember, I love you. I'm Heather, by the way.
Nico.
Have we met before? I don't think so, no. You're just so familiar, I can't quite put my finger on it.
Home and Away, weeknights on 7 and 7+.
Because of friends like these...
Give us a bite. Just a little one.
We've made an ice cream snack like this. New Ice Cream Bites. Bite-sized snacks for everyone.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just
Start your day with Dollar Curtains and Blinds. Value in every dollar.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but there's another big bank snapping at their heels. With 1.9 million customers, it's regularly voted one of Australia's most trusted brands. Welcome to Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
For visible results after first use, new Nivea Cellular Lift Expert with Bio-Retinol Alternative helps give a visible lifting effect. 95% agree. Visible anti-age results. See results or double your money back.
40th birthday. Excellent choice. Now, let's talk Father's Day.
How do you spell secateurs?
Father's Day, made by 1+U. Home Essentials Kit $179, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Ryobi.
The next generation of university is here. Swinburne's deep industry partnerships guarantee real industry experience, connecting you to your career faster. Swinburne. Next Gen now.
I'm on the next level, yeah, I know you heard about it. You know I'm bout it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they stare and know.
from Melbourne, this is 7 Afternoon News with Rebecca Maddern.
Today's emotional march at the Shrine will be the last major Vietnam Veterans Day event to be held in Melbourne. Organisers say diggers from our most controversial war are now getting old and prefer smaller commemorations. Nick McCallum was there.
Joining me is Bob Elworthy, who is with the Vietnam Veterans Association. The emotion, the feeling in the march today.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet day today. This is the last big event at the Shrine. 50th anniversary since we left Vietnam. So it seems like a really good time to call stumps on the big activities here. Very emotional for a lot of Vietnam veterans. And I'm so proud of the resilience of them. They've made it this far. Now what we'll do is go back to little regional activities now, rather than having a big day here.
A lot of assistance dogs there today.
Yep.
That tells the story, doesn't it?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of them still have problems they're wrestling with from the war, and assistance dogs are wonderful for them. We're quite an aged group now. Most of us well into our 70s and some well into their 80s. So, you know, the resilience of Vietnam veterans is something to be admired, let me tell you.
What have you done for Australia? This country you're so proud to call your own.
50 years ago, almost, it was the Australian pullout from Vietnam. Very bittersweet, wasn't it, for veterans?
Well, when you commit soldiers to a war, you have to have an exit strategy. And you have to have sold them on the reason to go. They're two questions that I've never resolved for me from Vietnam. Why the heck we were there in the first place, and why we weren't allowed to finish the deal.
Does that, after all these years, still get to you?
Only when people say to me that Vietnam was a waste, because that then devalues and dishonours the lives of those who gave their life.
Thanks very much, as always. That's Bob Elworthy from the Vietnam Veterans Association.
Thank you so much, Nick. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has touched down in the Torres Strait ahead of meetings with Indigenous elders about enshrining a voice to Parliament. Leaders will discuss how to advance the Uluru Statement from the heart and discuss a potential referendum question.
A voice to Parliament enshrined in our Constitution will also strengthen the nation and bring it together.
The government has already secured in-principle support for the Voice plan from the states and territories. While some people are still struggling to understand cryptocurrency, others have started using it in the real world. They're paying for fuel and sandwiches, and that's just the beginning, Sean White explains.
Whether it's filling up at the Bowser or grabbing a quick bite to eat, you no longer have to rely on your bank account to make a purchase at these petrol stations. By scanning a QR code, you can link your transaction to your crypto wallet and pay at over 150 OTR service stations in Victoria, South Australia and WA.
It's simply like just another form of payment, whether you're using a credit card or a debit card or paying by cash. You simply open the crypto app on your phone, and when the time's right, you scan the barcode that comes up on the screen and you're away. It's really quite straightforward.
The option is being expanded to include gift box nationally and even Krispy Kreme donut stores in some states, with crypto coins converted on the spot to Australian dollars.
It's their choice if they choose to use crypto to pay or if they want to use cash or credit card.
Finder research shows more than 2.6 million Aussies own some kind of crypto, with Bitcoin the most popular. And many want to use the currency for more than just investment.
Over 53% of merchants are saying that, they're wanting to actually offer crypto as a payment option instead of just cash and credit.
But being able to facilitate transactions in bricks and mortar stores has been complicated for many businesses due to technology restraints until now. The data mesh terminals are bridging the gap by making the process easy for both customers and merchants, without the need for businesses to take on the burden of things like exchange rates.
One of the big things we've actually done is to make it simple, make the process simple. If it's cumbersome, and especially in fuel where and convenience where there's a lot of high volume traffic through. You don't want to be holding it up.
And at a time where the price of petrol can be particularly painful, being able to access more of your money without lengthy withdrawal times could be the help your budget needs. Sean White, 7 News.
A young girl with an incurable form of brain cancer has been granted her wish of becoming a police officer. 4-year-old Constable Zoe helped chase a criminal while chasing her dream. Matt Karstunen has the story.
On Sydney's northern beaches, a brazen daylight robbery.
What's happening? What's happening?
A thief steals a special present.
Did he take your present? Do you want to give us a hand to catch the bad guy?
But little does he know he's messed with the force's newest and arguably toughest constable.
Yeah.
Constable Zoe reporting for duty.
Zoe, this is you ready to go?
The 4-year-old has diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, an aggressive and incurable form of brain cancer. Not that it's stopping her.
The police! Let's get out of here!
Hitting the harbour, Zoe closes in. But the thief managed to slip away. Back on dry land, Constable Zoe was far from giving up, taking their mission to the air. Zoe and her team of detectives scoured the skies when finally she spotted the thief they've been looking for.
Let's go catch him. We got him! We got him! Come here, you bad guy. See you, bad guy.
The present returned safely. A mission success for Constable Zoe, and her colleagues will never forget.
Thank you.
Matthew Karstunen, 7 News.
A property in Melbourne's southeast sells for $100 million. Details are next. Also claims an armed intruder wanted to kill the Queen. This is 7's Afternoon News. Stay with us.
What you're seeing here is momentous.
You think that's alien technology?
Yes, I do. We have new, conclusive proof.
Testable evidence of alien technology.
This renowned scientist confirms it all.
Is it possible to exceed the speed of light? The answer is yes.
The biggest discovery in human history.
New evidence that has to be seen to be believed.
7 News Spotlight, Sunday on 7 and 7+.
There's a reason you've switched to new technology. So why are you still using an ordinary toothbrush? Upgrade to Oral-B IO Series 7 electric toothbrush. The iconic round brush head cups each tooth and gets deep in between teeth to give you 100% cleaner teeth and healthier gums in just 1 week. For a professional clean, upgrade to Oral-B for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
The Iron Throne is the most dangerous seat in the realm. Dragons are a power men should never have trifled with.
I am to inherit the Iron Throne. She can cut off any challenge to her succession. Knives will come out.
I will not choose between my brother and my daughter. House of the Dragon starts in 4 days on Binge.
Freedom has everything you need to relax in style. Get up to 20% off a selected range of contemporary sofas and furniture. Plus, get up to 50% off all mattresses. Sail on now. Only at Freedom.
It's one hell of a ute. The LDV T60 Max Lux Auto. A massive 160 kilowatts of power from just $41,990 drive away. Visit a dealer today. LDV. Bring it on.
Is that your dog?
It's the neighbour's dog.
Will my insurance cover this?
Not looking good, I'm afraid.
Budget Direct would have provided you with temporary accommodation for up to a year while they repaired it.
Good dog.
Get temporary accommodation for up to a year. Budget Direct. Insurance solved.
Hey, Mum, it's me. You must be out again. I'll call back later.
Stay active and independent with the Mi Pack Solo, a new personal alarm on the Samsung Galaxy Watch, giving you the confidence to do what you love. and connecting you to the MEPAC's emergency response team 24/7. Home and away. You're safer with MEPACs.
Get ready for an extraordinary night packed full of inspiration and ideas for your home. All new Better Homes, Friday at 7.
Welcome back. A Melbourne stud farm with links to Cups king Bart Cummins, has sold for an eye-watering $100 million. The stables in Officer were bought by a developer backed by a super fund and are set to be transformed into an industrial estate. The legendary trainer kept some of his best horses on this property. It was originally bought for $379,000 in 1994. A British court's been told a man who trespassed at Windsor Castle with a crossbow wanted to kill the Queen. The 20-year-old has been charged under the Treason Act, as Europe Bureau Chief Hugh Whitfeld reports.
No one's been jailed for treason here for more than 40 years, but Jaswant Singh Chale is accused of carrying a loaded crossbow onto the grounds of Windsor Castle, getting within the direct line of sight of Her Majesty's private apartments before being stopped by a protection officer and saying, "I want to kill the Queen." The court heard this happened on Christmas morning last year. Her Majesty was inside her private apartments along with Prince Charles and Camilla. Of course, this was the first Christmas for the Queen since the death of her husband, Prince Philip. The court was told the crossbow is capable of causing fatal injuries and that Chale wanted to seek revenge for the treatment of Indians by the British establishment. He'd even tried to join the Grenadier Guards, the famous bearskin capped guards who stand outside royal palaces in order to get closer to the royal family. Under the Treason Act, Chale is facing a specific charge relating to wanting to injure or alarm the Queen. The 20-year-old is yet to enter a plea. He's currently being held in a high-security psychiatric hospital.
Thank you, Hugh. Now returning to one of our top stories, and there's been a blowout in the expected price tag for the suburban rail loop. The Parliamentary Budget Office says the first two stages are on track to cost $125 billion rather than the original estimate of $50 billion. It comes as the opposition threatens to shelve the project if it wins the November election. We are now joined live by the Minister for the Suburban Rail Loop, Jacinta Allen. Minister, there is a huge difference in these figures. Which one is correct, $50 billion or $125 billion?
Well, good afternoon, Rebecca. And the Andrews Labor government some 12 months ago released a business case that demonstrated really clearly to the Victorian community that the suburban rail loop east would cost between $30 and $35 billion. And indeed, we're getting on with delivering that stage of the project right now. What Victorians have seen today from the Liberal Party is a pretty tricky set of numbers that they've released as all part of their program to cut the suburban rail loop and cut those very jobs that are out there right now working on this project and cut those connections that will come into places like Monash University and Box Hill TAFE and our health and hospitals around the suburbs. That's what the Liberal Party today are saying they will continue to cut.
Minister, we really do need to go back to the figures because there is a huge disparity between $50 billion and $125 billion. The $125 billion comes from the Parliamentary Budget Office. Are you saying that they are completely wrong?
So, Rebecca, the details that the Liberal Party provided to the Parliamentary Budget Office was for the cost of building and running the suburban rail loop for something like over 50 or 60 years. And if you took that same approach to, say, the City Loop, we've had some figures run by KPMG that show that the City Loop, if that same approach was taken, would cost $83 billion. So it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense approach from the Liberal Party that's all about their campaign to cut the suburban rail loop. And we're talking about jobs here. We're talking about thousands and thousands of jobs that they're going to cut with cutting the suburban rail loop and also cutting a train line to Monash University, which is also not just Australia's largest university, it's also part of a really big and important research and health precinct where many people work, many people study, many people visit for health and hospital services, and the Liberal Party want to cut a train line to that very precinct.
OK, I'm not sure voters going to the November election still know how much this project is going to cost, but I do want to ask you about something else today. We have heard alarming stories about patients being treated and waiting in tents at Box Hill Hospital. They're being treated in outside tents. Can you imagine that some people are very frustrated and might think that the health service should take priority over another rail project?
Rebecca, I think Victorians, we've all lived through a really difficult couple of years with the global pandemic, and we've all seen how our health system and our healthcare workers have worked incredibly hard under extraordinary pressure that every health system around the country is experiencing, and that's why we've made significant investments in our hospitals, in our healthcare workers, supporting them during this period of time, but also making a big investment in rebuilding with our $12 billion pandemic repair plan. And I also know from talking to people and understanding that there is also other parts of government that we also need to continue to invest in, that Victorians and Victorian families rely on. And that's why continuing to support investment in transport infrastructure so Victorians can travel safer, more quickly around our city and state, and also support thousands and thousands of jobs. It's important that governments do both. And the Andrews Labor government will continue to do both. When it comes to Matthew Guy and the Liberals, they're saying that they will cut the suburban rail loop and the thousands of jobs and the connections it will deliver.
Minister, aren't you horrified, though, that people are being treated in a tent?
Look, we've seen the reports of how our health system is under pressure is, of course, concerning, and of course we are seeing it reported around the country and indeed around the world. And that's why the Andrews Labor government has a pandemic repair plan, a $12 billion pandemic repair plan that at its heart is about supporting our hospitals, supporting our healthcare workers, putting in additional investment. For example, Rebecca, just in the last couple of years alone, we've invested and supported an additional 9,000 doctors and nurses into our hospital system, and we know we've got to keep on doing that, keep on supporting our hospitals, supporting our healthcare workers. You know, when the Liberal Party were last in government, they cut health funding. They went to war with our nurses and paramedics. We've taken a very, very different approach, and we know that there's a big job to do ahead of us.
All right, Minister, we'll have to leave it there this afternoon. Appreciate your time. Jacinta Allen, thank you. Well, a wild weather warning for Victoria. Sonia Marinelli has all the all-important forecast that is coming up next. Also, Ash Barty reveals her new career twist. We are back after this very short break.
It's the last round before the finals, and we've saved the best till last. That's damn good. On Friday Night Footy, the blockbuster to shake up the top four. Lions versus Demons. Cozzy! And will the finals-bound Tigers avoid an upset from their bitter enemy? Loves it! Then, Sunday afternoon, the most anticipated match is here. Can Carlton pull off a miracle? The Blues just need to win to make the finals, but will their oldest enemy stop them with one fell swoop? Can they find a way? The last round before the finals starts with Friday Night Footy, live and free on 7.
Restore dehydrated, sensitive skin with a Van Hydrants Rich Cream from Chemist Warehouse. Its unique combination of thermal spring water and Coaderm Complex helps replenish your skin's natural water reservoirs and provides 24-hour hydration. A Van Hydrants Rich Cream is just $33.99 at Chemist Warehouse. Give your dehydrated, sensitive skin 24-hour hydration with a Van. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
At Hungry Jack's drive-thru, we've got brekkie all wrapped up with Jack's Cafe's rich, velvety, smooth, better-tasting barista coffee, hot grilled toasties, new Jack's brekkie rolls, and crunchy hash browns. Brekkie's better at Hungry Jack's.
Oh, take the challenge to double the life of your clothes with Vanish Gold Multi-Power. Massaman curry. Ooh, cooking's hot work. It's so dull. Just half a scoop and cold wash.
Better than detergent alone, Vanish removes tough stains, plus removes odours, brightens colours and hygienically cleans to double the life of your clothes, so you can rewear these again and again. Clothes live longer with Vanish Gold Multi-Power.
Wing It, the show where Aussies try doing their own tax return.
Can they conquer the non-deductibles?
Or the capital gains cannon.
All for a lousy return.
This tax season, don't wing it, ka-ching it. Book an appointment with the experts at H&R Block.
Meet Google Pixel 6a, a smartphone for a smarter price. Powered by the Google Tensor chip, so your camera can see in the dark, with night sight. Fix your photos with Magic Eraser. Photograph all skin tones authentically with Real Tone and last up to 72 hours with Extreme Battery Saver. It's all you want in a phone, all for $7.49. Google Pixel 6a.
Need a moisturiser that does more? New and improved Cetaphil moisturisers are specially formulated with our science-backed blend of ingredients to improve your skin's resilience. Cetaphil, complete care for your sensitive skin.
Can the primary teacher topple a titan?
Classic wolf in sheep's clothing. I get one wrong, he'll suddenly come up with the killer pushback.
Swift.
Correct.
Canada.
Correct.
Buckingham.
Correct.
Who has done their homework? New The Chase, weekdays at 5 on 7 and 7+.
Well, Ash Barty hasn't slowed down 5 months after walking away from tennis. She spoke to Sunrise's Mark Beretta about her new gig.
Ash, tell us about the new role at Optus. What's the new job?
It's exciting, isn't it? I think, for me, being able to help inspire others, inspire youth, inspire communities and work with Optus, I think it's very much still in the infancy where we get to plan what we're going to do, but now we get to start that process and it's really exciting.
We haven't seen you since the big day, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Has married life changed much, or is everything still the same?
Everything's the same. We just have a piece of paper now. I think that's about it. But no, it was an amazing day. We got to share it with the people that we love the most.
Has the tennis racket been out of the bag at all recently?
It hasn't. No, not really. I mean, other than playing with Lucy, my niece and her best friends from school, coaching them, but usually it's a junior racket that I've got in my hand now with those guys. But absolutely loving getting out on court with Luce and her friends, but haven't hit any balls, no.
So you haven't had any of those feelings that maybe one day you might go back to it?
No. I think I'm all good. I think I was extremely fortunate to have such a fun career and such an incredible career. But I'm really enjoying where we are now.
We've certainly been enjoying life. You played golf at the Icon Series. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, golf has always been a massive part of my life. It's always been a way that I can just reconnect and kind of refresh and settle down and really switch off. But playing in the Icon Series was a lot of fun, obviously testing myself against some of the best athletes and former athletes in the world, but all for a good cause. We played some awful golf, played some great golf, had some fun with it.
And you've had Gary as your caddy. How's he been?
It's good. We didn't fight. It was great. But no, he's a good caddy. He knows what he's doing. He loves the sport. Obviously, it's a passion for both of us, but it was good fun to share that with him.
We've seen some vision of you playing golf with Daniel Ricciardo. How would you describe Daniel's golf?
Raw. I think for old Dan, I may have stitched him up a little bit. He doesn't play much golf, never really picked up a club before, and we said, I've got a great idea, let's go and play golf. And he's like, yeah, okay, why not? Which was really cool. It's you gaining those new opportunities and saying yes to those new opportunities.
Has retirement been what you thought it would be? Has it been busier or quieter than you wanted it to be?
It is busier than I thought it would be, but it's great because I think I'm so lucky that I've got so many opportunities for new challenges, and like I said, it's all the things that I've always wanted to do. I just never had the time to do them. So now we do have the time and we're making use of that time, which is great. I'm enjoying every single second, no regrets, and absolutely loving it.
Good work, Ash. Now let's take a quick look at Melbourne's roads.
Good afternoon, Hayley Steele here in the I-Fly Flat traffic chopper. There's been a collision on the Deer Park bypass citybound just before the Ring Road, where emergency services on scene at the moment, blocking off the left-hand lane. Only one lane is getting past, causing heavy delays before Robinson's Road. Got a credit card or airline points to use? Talk to I-Fly Flat. They're the experts at using points for business class. Visit iflyflat.com.au and get ready to fly.
Sonia Marinelli is here now with the weather. Sonia, we're dealing with more severe conditions.
We certainly are, and that comes after last night where we had a 96k gust out of the airport. It is still windy, but nowhere near that strong. So right now we are dealing with storms. They started firing up south of Ballarat just a couple of hours ago, all part of this front that is moving into central Victoria tonight. Now around Melbourne, the wind nice and relaxed overnight. Showers, though, are picking up soon, and the storm risk is here too. The timing for that, if it's going to happen, will be over the next couple of hours. We're all clear in the city at the moment. The band of showers moving through Geelong right now. The wind is dropping in behind it. It's gusting around the 20 to 40k mark here at the moment. Earlier today, we had a peak gust of 63 in the city, so that really tells you where we've come from. In the city, we did hit a high 15 degrees. Right now, it's dropped back to 14, and it's holding close to that right around Melbourne and Geelong. But it's as cold as 10 degrees down in the southwest, where those storms have been. The front continues out to the east tonight. That is where we are expecting the heaviest of the rain, 10 to 20 millimetres worth. We'll see some river level rises there as well. But we've got a nice clearing trend coming in behind it. The risk of damaging winds now isolated to the far northeast ranges. And here's that first front that we are dealing with tonight. But we do have a second front moving in through behind it on Friday. That one packing an icy punch. For now, though, let's take a good look at tomorrow. Cool and cloudy statewide with moderate to fresh westerly winds, gusty along the coast. There'll be scattered showers, but you'll find they're on an easing trend. And for the snow lovers, we're getting a good dump up on the Alps later at night. Around Melbourne, there is a chance of showers, but it should be all gone by sunrise. The city starts on 7. We're heading for a top of 16 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And I'll continue to track those storms, Beck. I'll have all the latest at 6.
We will see you then. Thank you, Sonia. Well, coming up in our bulletin at 6, exclusive details as police crack down on dangerous hoons, the new trend that's putting lives at risk. Also, a local council's fighting to increase your rates, the new mission to the moon and what it means for a space race between the US and China. And we'll be first with all the big team news for the final round of the AFL season. It's all coming up in 7 News at 6. But that's all we have time for in the afternoon news. For now, from the 7 News team, take care. I'll see you at 6.
Australian